One of the most common strategies recommended for new real estate investors is to become a deal finder for established investors. And this is often called bird dogging, and the concept is simple. You get paid for finding deals for cash buyers. There's just one small problem. If you do it incorrectly, it could be viewed as brokering and require a real estate license. Do it wrong and you're breaking the law and subject to fines and penalties. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the wrong way to bird dog and the right way to bird dog so you stay on the right side of the line. All of that and more coming up.
This video is brought to you by 10K Club, a program that pays you $10,000 for finding ugly houses. Learn more at my10kcheck.com.
If you're new here, my name is Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses, and on this channel, I show you exactly how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. Before you can understand the right and wrong way to bird dog, you first have to understand what brokering is. A real estate broker is someone who helps another person buy or sell real estate in exchange for compensation. Historically, one of the oldest definitions of a broker is simply a person who brings buyers and sellers together for compensation. And each state has a governing body known as the Real Estate Commission to pass, regulate, and enforce laws around the practice of brokering. Whether you agree with brokering laws or not, the purpose is to protect the consumer. When someone is getting paid to help another person buy or sell a large asset, such as a house, the state wants minimum standards, education, disclosures, accountability, and consumer protection. That's why every state has some version of real estate licensing law. The details vary from state to state, but the concept is generally the same. If you're performing brokerage activities for compensation, you need a real estate license and follow the rules and best practices. With that context, now let's talk about bird dogging and how it relates. Bird dogging is when someone helps identify potential deals for an investor. The term comes from hunting dogs that locate birds and point the hunter in the right direction. The bird dog doesn't pull the trigger, the bird dog finds the opportunity. In real estate, that could mean finding distressed properties, vacant houses, absentee owners, inherited properties, or any type of motivated sellers. The problem is that not all bird dogging is the same. I've broken it down into 4 different levels with each carrying varying degrees of responsibility and risk. Now, before we go any further, these levels are my framework for understanding risk. They are not legal definitions and every state's laws are different. Activities that may be permissible in one state could require a license in another. Always consult your state's real estate laws or a qualified attorney. Okay, level 1 is what I call the information provider. This is the lowest risk version. The bird dog says to potential investors, there's a vacant house down the street that my neighbor might want to sell. Here's the address. That's it. No negotiations, no discussions about price, no promises, and no representations. Just information. In many states, this is the strongest argument for legitimate bird dogging because the person is simply providing information. The next level, level 2, is the lead generator. Now this is where things start getting interesting. The bird dog is actively looking for opportunities by driving for dollars, knocking doors, talking to owners, gathering contact information, and then passing those leads to investors. This is where state laws can start to vary. Some states may view this as simple lead generation, while others may take a closer look depending on how compensation is structured. The more the compensation is tied to whether a deal actually closes, the more regulators may scrutinize the activity. Then we move to level 3, the deal qualifier. This is where many people unknowingly cross into dangerous territory. The bird dog starts asking questions like, how much do you want for the property? How quickly do you want to sell? What's your asking price? Or would you take a cash offer? Now, they're doing more than identifying opportunities. They're evaluating deals, screening sellers, and discussing transaction terms. At this point, the activity starts looking a lot less like lead generation and a lot more like brokerage. Okay, then we have level 4, the deal maker. This is the highest risk category. The bird dog is talking to both parties, negotiating price, discussing terms, communicating offers, and trying to make the deal happen. At that point, they're essentially acting as an intermediary between buyer and seller, and that's exactly the type of activity many states reserve for licensed brokers.
Find deals faster with PropWire. search properties, skip trace owners, and get lead alerts. Download the PropWire app on the App Store or Google Play Store for free.
Now let's talk about a common bird dogging model that's often taught in the investing industry that could get you in trouble. It goes something like this. Find an active investor, get his exact buy criteria, find a property that fits that criteria, connect buyer and seller, and collect a fee. Now, it's sometimes called reverse wholesaling because you find the buyer first and then the deal second. And I get the logic behind why this is a good idea for new investors. It's lower risk because you're not locking up properties just to find out later that you misanalyzed the deal, over-contracted, and can't find a buyer. Here's the problem with this version of bird dogging. Many regulators could look at that and argue, wait a second, you found a buyer, you found a seller, you brought them together, and you got paid. That starts looking very similar to what a broker does. In fact, many states specifically regulate or prohibit paying referral fees or finder fees to unlicensed individuals. Getting compensated for that version I just explained often has to be paid outside of closing because title won't pay the bird dog fee as part of the closing transaction. Now let's compare that with traditional wholesaling. In wholesaling, the investor negotiates directly with the seller, signs a purchase agreement, acquires equitable interest in the contract, and then assigns that contract to the buyer. Notice the difference. The wholesaler is not being paid for introducing parties. The wholesaler is being paid because they own a contractual interest. That's a completely different legal framework. Now, having said that, in recent years, some states have passed regulation that traditional wholesaling, where you assign the contract in some form or another, is brokering and requires a real estate license. It's your responsibility to know, understand, and follow the laws in your state. Now, to help you, I maintain a free report that has all the state-by-state wholesale regulations. To get that free download, go to wholesaleregulations.com. So if you are going to bird dog using the reverse wholesale idea, what is a better, more proper way to do it? Well, find an active buyer, learn exactly what he wants, then go find a deal. That part is the same. But instead of bringing the two parties together to negotiate and contract, instead you, the bird dog, become the wholesaler. Go ahead and get the buyer's exact buy price for the deal, but then you negotiate and contract the property, obviously at a lower price than the buyer will pay, and then you assign him the contract like a wholesaler. That way you're getting paid for your equitable interest, not from brokering. This is much stronger than simply collecting a referral fee because now you're actually entering into a contract and acquiring rights in the property. Of course, that assumes that the wholesaler is complying with applicable state laws regarding wholesaling, disclosure requirements, licensing exemptions, and assignment practices. But truthfully, this is a misuse of the definition of bird dogging. It's not even bird dogging anymore, it's wholesaling with lower risk. That is exactly what I do with my finder program called 10K Club. In that program, I give you my basic buy criteria, then I give you tools, resources, and training to find deals. Then once you find and contract a deal, you submit it to me, and as long as it meets my criteria, I step in, you assign the deal to me, and I buy that and pay you a $10,000 finder fee. Now to learn more about that program, go to my10kcheck.com to register for a free training. So what's the safest way to bird dog? Well, the correct definition would be focus on generating information, focus on finding opportunities, focus on delivering leads, avoid negotiating, avoid discussing price, avoid discussing terms, avoid representing either party, avoid presenting yourself as someone's agent, and be extremely careful with how you structure compensation so that it's not tied directly to a successful real estate transaction. Remember this simple framework. Bird dogs find opportunities, brokers represent parties, and wholesalers acquire contractual rights. Those are three very different roles. Unfortunately, many investors unknowingly blend them all together. The question here isn't whether bird dogging is legal. The real question is, at what point does bird dogging become brokering? And while every state draws the line a little differently, the closer you get to negotiating, discussing terms, representing parties, and getting paid because a transaction closes, the more likely regulators are going to view that activity as brokerage. Understanding that distinction helps you avoid costly mistakes, fines, and licensing issues down the road. So if you are new and you want a lower risk model where I'm the buyer, Watch this 45-minute training where you're gonna learn exactly how to properly be a deal finder for me and get paid $10,000 for every deal that meets my criteria. Watch that now, and I'll see you on the next video.